Welcome to another episode on my Arduino Yun, which has embedded Linux and USB thumb drive memory stick. Connected to breadboard with electronics and fischertechnik mechatronics. And the purpose is in the current project to read data and to store it on the USB stick. But first, as usual, I want to test if everything still works. And I will press enter in the terminal. Then I see that this works. These LEDs work. This button works. This one works. This one works as well. This one only works when there is sufficient signal. This one doesn't work right now, and that is because the data isn't working yet. This one also stopped because of that. There is signal on the motor. Now this works again. Yes, because all data has been processed. And now, when I look at the oscilloscope, there's data right here for this motor. Oops, this motor. And there is data for this motor, which is the lowest line right here. So that all works. Question is then, if that works, why doesn't this motor work? That's a good question. Let's have a look. Well, this circuit still works, so that should mean that everything else works as well. Let's take a look at the probe. Can I put the probe there in a different way? It doesn't do anything. One press on enter, and here's no signal anymore, neither is here. So now I lost both pulses modulation signals, and with one touch on the enter I have to wait for it to stop and then see whatever happens. And that brings me to the next point. Last time I spent a lot of time to find the reason that data isn't being converted from string to string, from string to character to string, and still hasn't worked out. So, next step, finding a solution. Hopefully I managed this time. So, to refresh some memory, this is the Linux side of the Arduino Yun, with currently the USB stick mounted on /MNT device. So if I take a look at it with data, then I get this rubbish, and rubbish it is, and that is caused by this statement. And the problem is that everything reads in fine, but this conversion to character array goes wrong. And last time I tried several things, among which is taking away this asterisk by the array declaration to character. However, without it I have a huge problem, a very huge problem, because then these character arrays are not being stored in the data array. That's impossible then. So I need that, and that same thing goes here. So the question is, what should I do? Should I try to hold on to my idea to get a nice header on top of a column of values, or should I let it go? Should I let that whole idea go and just make a character or array, or integer array actually, because then it becomes an integer array, and see how that works out? So far this points to string, and in the programs that I want to use, either Octave or whichever, then I cannot use string, and that's the problem. And to go on, and I think, alright, then I do know that the first column is sensor value, the second column is output value 1, and the third column is NTC value larger than 500. So I would have to deal with that. Would that mean that I can get sensible values into the character array on mistake? Well, let's try. So that also means that I will go back to a multiple character to a multi-dimensional array, because that was also the point. If I want to use headers, then I better have flexible storage in the sense of pointer to memory, and in this case I can have just a predefined dimension 2 by 3, so 7 in total, because this is 0 to 2 and this is 0 to 3, and 4 by 3 is 7. Although I can do that with integer then. So I won't erase it right now. I will copy this and let's just do it this way and make it int. So now I have an array data 1 of type integer with 2 columns and 2 rows and 3 columns, and that will be way too little, of course. On the other hand, I will have to assign much different stuff to the data, to the cells, to the elements. The correct word is element, because an array has elements. And the big question is how to do that. I have 1, 2, 3 here, and I have some more here, but let's just do step by step. I think that's best. Then these will go out, and these will get just the value they should have. And of course I'll have to start here, because this is the first one, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Yeah, this is the first one, so I'll have to start rewriting here. So now I have disabled everything and inserted data 1 elements 0, 0, 0, 1 and 0, 2, row and column. So now there is data in one row only, and here I have now made an integer of these data, 2 rows by 3 columns. So now I'm very curious what will happen, and I need to focus on this part. So let's see whatever happens this time. This is correct. This is also correct. And then I mean, of course, port. So let's see. Sensor value 1 not declared in the scope. Oh yeah, right, it needs a semicolon. Sensor value 1, why is that not declared in the scope? Oh, because it is sensor value in here, sensor value. Yep. It's only sensor value. And where does it go wrong? Right here. Ah. Okay, so I need to disable these. And I need to, for now, disable these as well. Alright, now let's see if this is better. Yeah. Yep, uploading. And we're done. Right, now it's very curious to see what happens. That goes much faster. Alright, now this goes much faster. But what are the elements anyway? Do I get any data in here? And unfortunately, there are still question marks. So unreadable data. So I need to change something. First of all, actually print the data that I've got to make sure that the data is there, and then improve the writing. So I need to make sure that this is indeed the way to write it. Although I don't get an error on it, it doesn't make sense yet. So from here I am going to change this one. It is only, there are only 3 elements right now, and I'm going to uncomment them. Data 0 0 is data 0 0, then this of course data 1. Let me be very precise, and this is same thing. Yep. And this is data 1, element 3. Alright, so now I can find, if it is alright, all elements that I've filled around here. That's one thing. And then I have to find out how I can print the whole data, the whole elements in here, if that is correct. So once again, oh yeah, did I make any mistake here? Yeah, I have made mistakes here as well. Not tragic mistakes, but mistakes anyway. And this should then be print line, but that's cosmetic. And it's also a print line. Alright, try again. Okay, new try. So, and now, yes, thank you. It's very clear to see that I have now data stored in 00, 01 and 02. So that is very good. That is what I wanted. Now, do I have them here? Oh wait. This is data that goes on and on. But is there any data? That's another thing to see. Here I have a problem. I can't look for any data. It goes by very quickly. What date is it anyway? Yeah. Not really good. Right, so if I remove this, what will happen? Remove datalog.txt. Gone. Alright. has it been recreated? It has been recreated, and it's very small now. So, alright, new text, new data. What happens? Well, nothing. This is new data being sent, being stored. It is alright, and nothing is being stored, nothing logical. So, well, this is kind of alright. This most definitely is not. Alright, now focusing on the data that I want to write, I found another thing that is once again different from NCC comparing to AVRC, which I'm using here, and I strongly recommend to use print or print line. So let me remove ELN and let's see what happens now with back to print. Overloaded print integer is ambiguous. Why is that ambiguous? That is unknown to me. I just declare it, I fill it. Why would that go wrong? Let's just try it once again. If I want to print something, well, that's another thing, by the way. With write it never complained. With print it does complain. So that is kind of strange. Now let me do this. Let's see what happens then. Again, ambiguous. I need to find it out. Never seen before. Well, about writing data, that is. Okay, so I found out now that, as you can see, I have suddenly readable stuff in my data file, because I changed this really to element 0, 0. So when I want to print all stuff, I need to go replace this from X and Y and then make a for loop to do all other stuff. Is that desirable? Not quite sure. I can try. And it's only 2 rows by 3 columns. And of course this is C. Just an idea. Then then this one going here, disabling this, and replacing these with X and Y. Let's see if this wants to compile anyway. I'm very curious. Yeah, alright. Int, I said int and int, go. It wants to compile, obviously. Done. So, last time to try anything. There we go. What does it say here? Nothing much. Nothing at all. Well, it does say something, but it's all the same value. It's all the same value. No, it's not all the same value. Oh, look at this. These are the values. Right. So that works, but it's not in table format. Because I put it all in print line, which is new line. So now I need to do something that it says, alright, which one is which, and that is clearly for next time. But at least I've got data right here. Unfortunately, not with a header, but so be it for now. And let's try now. See, now I have here my this doesn't work yet. Does this work? No. Okay. I have some data, I have some signals, so alright. It will have to be. Right, and that it is time to say goodbye for now. So what did I do? Well, actually changed the algorithm completely. So it now no longer takes the header with it in a string format, but just data, and that seems to work. Just now the task is to get it really into multi-column, multi-row readable data. For some reason this doesn't work, I need to look into that as well. Fortunately these details still work, that doesn't, but that was not the focus of this episode. For now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, give it give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment if you like. You can also follow me on Instagram, please like and leave a comment. You can also follow me on Twitter. If so, retweet, like and leave a comment. Much appreciated. Also appreciated is if you donate to keep the videos coming to you. And and you can also become a patron and have your name mentioned depending on the pledge you make. And that is either on my name mentioned either on my website or on my website as well as with the video. Up to you. And this is obviously going to be continued. Thank you for watching and bye bye.